And now, Tiki Man Radio is proud to present the JBL Legends Travel Moment with Joe Leo. Take it away, Joe.
Good morning, everybody. It's Joe Leo with the JBL Travel Group with this week's Travel Minute. And I have some notes for me today because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to cover with you. I'm getting really excited because in about 22 days, I'm leaving for Rome, Italy. Something I've been wanting to do for the last 4 or 5 years. I had a trip scheduled there, and then the pandemic hit, and we had to cancel it. And we finally rescheduled it. So I'm going to be in Rome for a couple of days, and then I'm meeting up with a group of about 75 people, and we're going to board a ship to take a 10-day cruise through Italy and Greece. So we're going to be sailing out of Rome, and we're going to be headed to Greece. We're going to stop in Santorini, Athens, Mykonos, Corfu, and then over to Malta. And then from Malta, we're headed back to Italy with stops in Naples, Messina, and Florence before we head back to Rome. So needless to say, in the last week or so, I've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails from the people on the trip and say, hey, Joe, what's a good way to prepare for a long flight, or what do we need to know about this long flight? So I sent an email out to everybody with my 5 tips, and I'd like to share those with you today. Number 1 is wear comfortable clothing. Wear clothing that's loose-fitting and breathable, and bring layers with you, or wear layers with you so you could adapt to the changing temperatures inside the cabin. You know that little vent above your head, the air conditioning vent, it can get a little cold, but you don't want to close that because you want to have that air circulation while you're on the plane. You don't want to have a dry nose or dry mouth and start dehydrating, which is natural on an airplane to begin with. Also, wear comfortable shoes. And slip-ons, I suggest, so that you can get them off easily and back on easily after you go through the security checkpoints. Number 2, pack your essentials in your carry-on. So your carry-on should be like a treasure chest of comfort and convenience items. I suggest neck pillows, earplugs, noise-canceling headphones, maybe a blanket, if not a comfy sweatshirt that you can cover yourself with if you do get chilly. Moisturizer and lip balm to keep your lips from drying out on a long flight, an eye mask, and don't forget to bring personal entertainment stuff like magazines and books, and or a tablet and a laptop with movies and shows on there, or even podcasts, something that you can listen to or watch during the course of the flight. But most importantly, make sure that you pack all your prescription medications and anything else that you might need, like Tylenol or Tums or Advil or whatever, during the course of the flight. So you have that with you and it's not in your check bag under the belly of the plane. Also, it's really good because, God forbid, when you get to where you're going, your bags are delayed or your bags are lost. At least you have your essentials in your carry-on bag. Number 3, make sure that you move and stretch regularly. When you're sitting for long periods of time like that, it can cause some discomfort in your lower back. Your joints can get stiff. So I always suggest walking up and down the aisle. I do it. I can't sit like that for 7, 8 hours. So take a walk up and down the aisle, rotate your wrists and your ankles. And I also suggest that you get yourself a good pair of either compression socks or compression stockings to keep the circulation in your legs moving, to eliminate the possibility of getting deep vein thrombosis, DVT, or blood clots. I personally had an experience on one of the flights where when I got off the flight, my ankles and my calves were swollen, and it kind of gets painful when it's like that. And it took a couple of days for it to get back down to normal. So ever since that day, I wear a good pair of compression socks when I take long flights, and I've never ever had a problem since then. Number 4 is to stay hydrated. Now, you're not going to like this, but stay away from coffee, alcohol, and fizzy carbonated drinks because they're naturally dehydrating. If you're going to drink any of those, drink it in moderation, but make sure you drink plenty of water so that you stay hydrated. And number 5, establish a good sleep routine. So, just for example, we're leaving from Rome. We're leaving at 8:40 at night. And we're going to get into Rome the next day at 7:30 in the morning. So we've already skipped a day, and now we're starting a day all over again. So you want to try to adjust your sleep schedule to kind of fit as close as possible to the destination that you're going to alleviate some of that jet lag that you're going to get. So I always suggest for a couple of days before you go to adjust your sleep schedule, and this way when you get there, you're kind of fresh. You're fresh and ready to go. I know when I get to Rome, the first thing I want to do is drop my bags at the hotel and go do some sightseeing. Um, and as I mentioned before, make sure you bring an eye mask or something like that if you're sensitive to light, um, earplugs or noise canceling headphones, so that if you want to try to sleep on the flight, you're not interrupted by the light or the sounds that are going on around you. Um, so those are my 5 tips. And if you're going on, I hope you learned something. And if you're going on a flight, I hope you take advantage of some of those. Anyway, this has been Joe Leo with today's JBL Travel Minute. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks, Joe. Always travel with someone you trust. JBL Legends Travel and Joe Leo. Reach out to him at 732-831-5200, the official travel company of Tiki Man Radio.